Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob and I'm really happy for you to be with me today and look forward to sharing some new little nuggets for you today, including an exercise to go with them. Yesterday we paused just to reflect for a little spell on skills that we've been learning here together, skills that take us right amidst a stressful situation and provide us the wherewithal that we need to respond with resilience. We've been focusing on resilience, and particularly in the context of talking about addiction, we're looking at a resilient response that gives us an alternative to relapse. And stress, specifically distress, is the #1 trigger for relapse. So if we can find skills that build resilience within us, we might cope with distress more productively, more resiliently. And we're doing that right now. We're working on that. So I asked you to identify coping skills that you find useful, and then to prioritize how and when you might practice those skills this very week. I'm curious how it went for you. We talked about it in terms of practice makes perfect, and that's the truth, isn't it? What we're uncovering here is an interesting thing if you stop and think about it, and that is that it's not necessarily people, places, and things. This is the language that the 12-step program uses. It's not necessarily those things in our environment that cause us our greatest distress, especially when we start to realize how much leverage we have around these genuine, real-life, bona fide stressors. It's not to say they're not stressors, but we end up having a lot more wiggle room than we might have imagined as we begin to implement the kind of coping skills that we're talking about here at your Vitality Project. These are coping skills which help us stay more grounded, more centered, more relaxed. So we're beginning to gain traction in shifting out of what we've been calling red alert brain and body, where we're in this kind of fight or flight reaction, and moving into a resting state for both our brains and bodies that this state gives us a lot more alternatives, a lot more options in terms of managing stress creatively, productively, compassionately. So how are you liking it so far? Why don't we keep going, okay? For today, what I want you to do is make a what if map. By now, you probably know the drill. Take a blank sheet of paper, draw an oval in the center of it, and right in the middle of that oval, write what if. And then what I want you to do around that oval is write down the first half dozen thoughts that come to your mind when you think of possible negative outcomes for things that really matter to you right now in your life. Let yourself just go and be as negative, as worrisome as feels natural. Just write these down, okay? I don't want you to give it a lot of thought. Now I want you to turn the paper over, and as we've done before, excuse me, write down how your body feels as you bring up these what if worries. For example, you may notice tension in your body and where it locates. I also want you to take a look at your feelings or emotions that rise up. Could be fear, could be sadness, could be anger. See what you're aware of as you focus on each one of these what if worries. And then finally, in this state of mind, what I want you to do is see if you can analyze what do you feel like doing in reaction to these what if worries. And specifically, since we're talking about recovery here, might these what if worries excuse me, make you more likely to feel cravings? For example, to reach for an addictive substance or an addictive behavior for relief. Just write out your reflections on that as you kind of allow yourself to be with these what if worries. We're going to be working with these as we have in the past. You know, this isn't the final word, but it gets us into the field. So I wish you well with this exercise. I want to thank you for joining me. Good luck with the exercise. Come back and join me tomorrow, and we'll pick up with this and begin to create some toe holes for working with our what if worries in a way that maybe they don't have to capsize us. Okay. Please stay safe, be well, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.